Oli Saguegi, the was like getting young yet, so tell you any never get to know on your aga never go honjoda. Greetings everyone. That greeted you in my Oneida language. My Oneida name is Dewazlak, as depicted here is an axe with two blades on it from the Wolf clan from Oneida Nation of the Thames. And as you may or may not know, I'm Grand Chief of the Association of Iroquois and Allied Indians, and this is Treaty Week. And for this particular video, I'd like to talk about one of the oldest treaties in North America. And this is called the Digini Gaswanta, or the Two-Row Wampum. And this was actually supposed to be generally held this way. And this is an old treaty, one of the first treaties in North America, maybe the first. This is between the Iroquois and the Dutch. And this is the basis of all subsequent treaties and a lot of other First Nations that did make treaties with the Europeans and whatnot. The Crown has used this as a basis of the relationship as well. Okay, so as you can see, it's a white belt with two purple rows on it. And these two purple rows signify the Crown, and the other side signifies the Iroquois, or the Dutch or the Iroquois. And each nation having their people, their laws, their culture, everything in their boat, and the Iroquois having their laws, their culture, and their people in their canoe. And the white signifies the River of Life, and they will be traveling parallel paths down the River of Life, and there are three white rows between the purple lines, and those signify peace, trust, and respect. And this agreement is supposed to last as long as the grass is green and the river flows. And, well, they're working on getting those things going. But anyway, so as long as those things continue on, this is how long as this agreement is supposed to hold. And the Dutch have their own version of the agreement, which was also agreed to, which is the Silver Covenant chain, which is signified by a silver chain. And as you know, when it rusts, if the relationship gets rusty, then they can sit down and polish the chain so that it becomes shiny and new again. And so that's the basis of this oldest treaty, the Two-Row Wampum. And that is the original relationship. Unfortunately, the relationship hasn't exactly gone that way. Once Europeans began to outnumber indigenous peoples, we had drop-offs due to deaths and disease and war and things like that. So once we began outnumbered, the relationship began to change. And Europeans began colonial tactics based on the doctrine of discovery and terra nullius. However, with the recent adoption of the UNDRIP Act, supposedly an UNDRIP in there, it condemns the doctrine of discovery and all those colonial things. So how do we unwind these colonial policies and legislation such as the Indian Act and Supreme Court decisions, which are very colonial in nature as well? Section 35 is viewed through a very colonialistic viewpoint, in terms of have Vanderpeet tests and Sparrow and different things like that. And it's very onerous for First Nations to prove what rights that they have. And it's based on first contact, and the rights that you had at first contact are the rights you can only have, basically. And that's your Aboriginal rights. However, first contact is a two-way street last time I remembered. And so, and so we have to return back to this original relationship, this treaty, which is still in force today. So hopefully you'll learn something from this today, and you can take that away with you and do with it what you will. But just know this is the original relationship between Europeans and the indigenous people. Specifically, this was the Dutch and the Iroquois. And, hopefully we can get back to that someday. So I hope you enjoyed this, and hope you have a good rest of your week, and learn a little bit something about treaties today. Yamako, thank you very much.